vciso-au Cyberwatch, 3rd November 2025. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief, powered by vciso-au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati Darweb Report, Australia. Malibu Boats, Australia, manufacturing nautical. Ransomware victim Ansell Limited. Breach data leak. Suspected Oracle e-business suite vulnerability. CVE 202-5-6-1882. France. 2.5 billion revenue insurance company might have already been breached. Threat actor selling RCE in dark web, which has access to couple of web apps. IOC. According to Dark Web Informer, a newly observed domain, p2t.l09q.online, has been linked to the clear-fake JavaScript-based payload delivery campaign. Alleged data sale of Alles für Selbermacher. The Akira ransomware group has claimed responsibility for a cyber attack targeting Apache OpenOffice. The CL0P ransomware group has added Ansell Limited, an Australia-based manufacturer of personal protective equipment, PPE, and healthcare safety solutions, to its data leak site. The listing is associated with exploitation of the Oracle e-business suite vulnerability, CVE 2025-61882. Ernst & Young exposes 4 terabytes plus SQL database to the open internet. 12-line summary 1. A Dutch cybersecurity firm, Security, discovered a 4 terabyte unencrypted SQL Server backup file belonging to Ernst & Young, EY, exposed publicly online. Second, the exposed file was a .back SQL backup, accessible without authentication. Third, it contained highly sensitive data, API keys, cached authentication tokens, session tokens, service account passwords, and user credentials. Fourth, Security described the find as equivalent to finding the master blueprint and keys to a vault left out in public. 5. The researcher verified the backup's authenticity by downloading a small unencrypted portion for forensic analysis. 6. Seven. Security cited past incidents where exposed backups led to automated scans and full data theft within minutes. 8. The firm highlighted that cloud tools favor convenience over security, increasing the risk of accidental exposure. 9. It remains unclear how long EY के डेटा को ओपन इंटरनेट पर एक्सपोज्ड रखा गया था. 10. सिक्योरिटी ने सिफारिश की है कि समझौता एक बार जोखिम की पुष्टि होने के बाद किया जाए, क्योंकि संभावित बाहरी पहुंच की वजह से समझौता किया जा सकता है. 11. The researcher eventually contacted EY's incident response team via LinkedIn after failed formal channels. 12. EY's team secured the exposed file within a week and was praised for its professional and prompt response by Security. Bad Candy web shell threatens unpatched Cisco iOS XE devices. The Australian Signals Directorate, ASD, issued a warning about ongoing attacks targeting unpatched Cisco iOS XE devices. The attacks exploit CVE 2023-20198, a high-severity vulnerability, CVSS-10, in Cisco's iOS XE software. The flaw allows attackers to gain administrator privileges on affected routers by exploiting the Web UI feature. The implant, called BADCANDY, is a Lua-based web shell that gives attackers full control over compromised devices. The implant is non-persistent after a reboot, but attackers can regain access via stolen credentials. Since July 2025, over 400 devices in Australia have been identified as potentially compromised by Bad Candy. As of late October 2025, 150-plus compromised devices remain exposed online. Attackers can exploit the vulnerability to create an account with privilege level 15 access. ASD advised administrators to patch devices and restrict access to the Web UI to prevent re-exploitation. The Australian agency recommended reviewing and deleting unauthorized privileged accounts. It also emphasized the need for hardening and incident response to address the breach. Affected entities were urged to monitor for any unknown tunnel interfaces and keep TACACS plus logs for auditing. Open source C2 framework, exploited by threat actors to deliver malicious payloads. Researchers at Silent Push discovered that threat actors are using Adaptix C2, an open source command and control framework for malicious purposes. Adaptix C2 was originally designed for legitimate penetration testing, but is now being exploited in global ransomware operations. The framework is connected to Russian cybercriminal groups, particularly in relation to the CountLoader malware. Adaptix C2 consists of a server component in Golang and a GUI client in C++ Qt, making it cross-platform compatible. Silent Push analysts traced the exploitation to an attacker infrastructure with the IP 64.137.9.118, which served malicious Adaptix C2 payloads. The research team identified the likely main developer of Adaptix C2, known by the handle Ralph Hacker. The framework is increasingly being weaponized by cybercriminals for post-exploitation and adversarial emulation. Silent Push has developed specialized detection signatures to track and identify malicious Adaptix C2 infrastructure. Adaptix C2's adoption has grown since August 2025, marking it as a serious tool in the hands of cybercriminals. The framework allows for highly flexible command execution, data exfiltration, and more. The research underscores the risk of open-source tools being hijacked for criminal use. Silent Push continues to monitor its use in global ransomware campaigns targeting various sectors. Breach Roundup. Hackers probe Canada's critical infrastructure. Canadian authorities reported several cyber intrusions into critical infrastructure, RUK TSA, Party IKJLA, EFEKTINGWA, TRJUTILITIZ. Hackers tampered with the pressure valves of a provincial water utility, disrupting services. The attacks were opportunistic, aiming to create safety risks and service disruptions without causing catastrophic damage. Another incident involved false alerts triggered at an oil and gas company by manipulating automated tank gauges. A grain drying silo was also targeted, with potential safety risks from temperature and humidity fluctuations. The Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity linked the attacks to rising threats against industrial control systems, ICS. These incidents demonstrate how small utilities are vulnerable due to limited budgets and security preparedness. The attacks are seen as attempts to erode public trust and damage Canada's international reputation. Authorities emphasized that industrial systems should never be exposed to the internet to prevent such risks. No catastrophic consequences were reported, but the intrusions raised serious concerns about the security of critical infrastructure. Experts recommend stronger security measures and regular assessments to defend against such opportunistic attacks. Canada's vulnerability highlights the need for proactive cybersecurity in smaller, under-resourced utilities. Svenska Kraftnät investigates data breach. Svenska Kraftnät, Sweden's power grid operator, is investigating a data breach after a ransomware group called Everest claimed responsibility. The breach involved 280 gigabytes of stolen data, and Everest threatened to release it unless a ransom was paid. The company manages Sweden's electricity transmission system, but the breach did not impact power distribution. Everest posted about the attack on its leak site, detailing the stolen data and its extortion demands. The data breach was traced to an external file transfer solution used by the company. Everest is a ransomware group known for data extortion and attacking sectors related to national security. The group has been active since 2020, and its activities have raised concerns over cybersecurity in critical infrastructure. The incident is being investigated by Swedish authorities, and efforts are underway to secure the stolen data. The attack highlights the growing threat to power grid systems and the need for robust security measures. Sweden's authorities have assured the public that the attack did not affect national power supply or infrastructure. The company is working to assess the impact and prevent future attacks on its file transfer systems. The breach also raises concerns over the security of data sharing tools used by critical infrastructure providers. Australian pleads guilty to selling US defence trade secrets to Russian broker. An Australian national, Peter Williams, pleaded guilty in a US federal court to stealing cyber trade secrets from a US defence contractor. Williams stole at least 8 software exploit components related to national security between April 2022 and June 2025. He sold the stolen information to a Russian broker specializing in cybersecurity exploits in exchange for cryptocurrency payments. The stolen exploits were linked to national security concerns and included zero-day vulnerabilities in critical systems. Williams used encrypted communication channels to transfer the stolen data and conceal his activities. The US government is seeking the forfeiture of over $1.3 million worth of assets believed to have been bought with illicit funds. Prosecutors are pursuing a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison for Williams, along with a $250,000 fine. Williams spent the proceeds on luxury items and real estate, highlighting the personal gains from cyber espionage. The Russian broker suspected in the transaction may be affiliated with Operation Zero, a known zero-day broker. The case underscores the growing threat of insider threats and foreign interference in cybersecurity. It also highlights the significant role of cyber trade secrets in the evolving cybersecurity landscape. Williams's actions further emphasize the need for secure communication and robust safeguards in sensitive industries. Smishing triad. Uncovered, 194,000 plus malicious domains power global phishing as a service campaign. Palo Alto Networks Unit. 42 uncovered a massive smishing campaign tied to a group called the Smishing Triad. The campaign targets victims through SMS phishing, impersonating services like postal, banking, and government. The group has registered over 194,000 malicious domains since early 2024, powering its phishing-as-a-service ecosystem. The campaign initially targeted toll violation and package misdelivery scams, but has now expanded globally. The attackers use social engineering to steal sensitive data, including IDs, payment information, and login credentials. The Smishing Triad's infrastructure is highly decentralized, lacking a single control point, making it harder to dismantle. The group targets multiple sectors, including banking, cryptocurrency, e-commerce, and even law enforcement. Researchers note the sophistication of the group's social engineering tactics, making their phishing efforts more convincing. The campaign's rapid evolution demonstrates the growing impact of smishing in global cyber threats. Researchers have warned that the group could expand further, posing a significant risk to organizations and individuals worldwide. The FAST model enables attackers to rent out phishing tools and infrastructure, further fueling its spread. Unit 42 continues to monitor the group's tactics and provide detection signatures to help defend against attacks.